is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jisrinya Metha with the evening news. First day headlines. President Ram Nath Kovind promulgates 2 ordinances to extend tenure of CBI directors and Enforcement Directorate chief up to 5 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi transfers first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awaas Yojana Gramin to over 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal inaugurates 40th India International Trade Fair and Children's Day being celebrated today. As India achieved the milestone of vaccinating 100 crore people against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the people, doctors, nurses and others who made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners who are yet to fully get vaccinated to get vaccinated at the earliest and also help others to get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news in detail. President Ram Nath Kovind today promulgated 2 ordinances to extend the tenure of directors of prop agencies, Central Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement Directorate up to 5 years. The ordinances are the Central Vigilance Commission Amendment Ordinance 2021 and the Delhi Special Police Establishment Amendment Ordinance 2021. As per the ordinances, the chiefs of the top agencies can be given extensions every year for up to 3 years after they complete the 2-year term. The ordinances said no such extension will be granted after the completion of a period of 5 years in total, including the period mentioned in the initial appointment. The present tenure of the chiefs of the central agencies is 2 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today transferred the first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awaas Yojana Gramin PMAYJ to over 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura via video conferencing. More than 700 rupees crore will be credited directly to the bank accounts of beneficiaries today. The Prime Minister also interacted with the beneficiaries of PMAYJ. On the occasion, Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb thanked Prime Minister Modi for such a big intervention and release of 709 crore rupees to the beneficiaries of PMAYJ. Following Prime Minister's intervention, taking into account unique geoclimatic condition of Tripura, kacha houses have been converted into paka houses for the beneficiaries under the PMAY Gramin. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal today said initiatives of the India International Trade Fair IITF are reflective of the resilience of the Indian economy bouncing back. Inaugurating the 40th IITF, Goyal said with the trade fair, one of the finest and country's largest convention centers will come up in the Pragati Maidan complex. Goyal said today's launch of this trade fair reflects the 5 sutras of Indian economy: exports, infrastructure, demand and diversity. He complimented IITF organizers for consistently holding the fair and attracting lakhs of visitors. The theme of this year's fair is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Goyal said this edition of IITF is seeing record participation as more than 3,000 small and big businesses are taking part. 23 states, union territories and 34 central ministries, commodity boards, PSUs and government departments are participating in this event, which will continue till 27th of this month. Children's Day or Bal Divas is celebrated across the country today. November 14th marks the birth anniversary of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. Fondly called Chacha Nehru by children, he advocated for an all-rounded education of children that would build a better society in the future. Apart from tribute to Pandit Nehru, Children's Day also aims to increase awareness of the rights, care and education of children. On the occasion, Governor, Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister wished all children a very happy Children's Day. Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi expressed hope that the indomitable spirit and ceaseless energy of every child can lead them to excel in their chosen endeavor and wished that every child remain healthy and happy. The governor also remembered the first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on his Jayanti. In a tweet, Chief Minister Rio called for creating a conducive environment for the children's overall development and enable them to become responsible and empowered citizens. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton tweeted that children are the future of the country and it is our responsibility to nurture each child for a prosperous Nagaland and nation. Patton appealed to all to ensure that children have the right to unlock their full potential. Two terror groups, Revolutionary People's Front and the Manipur Naga People's Front, have claimed responsibility for terrorist attack, where a commanding officer of the Assam Rifles, his wife and son, besides 4 personnel, were killed yesterday in Churachandpur district of Manipur. In a joint statement yesterday evening, the groups claimed that they were not aware of the army's officer's wife and son's presence in the convoy. Commanding officer of Khuga Battalion of Assam Rifles, Viplav Tripathi, a colonel rank officer, his family and others died in the ambush. This news comes to you from All India Radio Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on our YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Ministry of Railways has said that as part of its efforts to normalize passenger services and revert back in a phased manner to the pre-COVID levels of service, the Railways Passenger Reservation System (PRS) will be shut down for 6 hours during the lean business hours of the night for next 7 days. In a statement, the ministry said this is to enable upgradation of system data and updating a new train numbers, since huge amount of old train numbers and current passenger booking data are to be updated in all mail or express trains. It said this is being planned in a series of carefully calibrated steps and implemented during night hours in order to minimize impact on ticketing services. The activity will be performed starting from the intervening night of 14th and 15th November to the night of 20th and 21st November, starting at 11:30 p.m. and ending at 5:30 a.m. Except for the PRS services, all other encouraged services, including 139 services, will continue uninterrupted. 5 new integrated checkpost ICPs will be set up on the India-Bangladesh border in West Bengal to ensure better connectivity and security. The decision was taken during the high-level meeting of the Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla with senior officials of West Bengal government in Kolkata on Friday, said the Land Port Authority of India. In total, 17 ICPs will be set up in West Bengal, which will strengthen border security and boost trade with India's neighboring countries. These include 5 ICPs on the Indo-Bangladesh border and 1 ICP each on borders with Nepal and Bhutan. The biggest ever Dubai Air Show began at Al Maktoum International Airport, Dubai World Central today, with over 1,200 exhibitors taking part in the 5-day show. Dubai Air Show is also the largest of its kind since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The show also features more than 160 of the world's most advanced aircraft on the ground and in the air. Indian Air Force contingent is also taking part in the Dubai Air Show following invitation by the government of UAE to participate with the Sarang and Surya Kiran aerobatics teams. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded 112.01 crore. More than 57.43 lakh doses were administered in the last 24 hours. National COVID recovery rate currently stands at 98.26%. Meanwhile, 11,271 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload stood at 1,35,918, which is lowest in 522 days, while the weekly positivity rate is 1.01%, which is less than 2% for last 51 days. Nagaland today reported 19 new positive cases of COVID-19, taking the total tally to 31,997. Of the cases reported, 15 were detected from Mokchung and 2 cases each in Dimapur and Twangsang. The state also reported 15 cases of recovery, adding the total recovered cases to 30,088. COVID-19 death remained at 676 with no COVID deaths reported. State's current COVID-19 active caseload stands at 167. To end the news, here are the headlines once again. President Ram Nath Kovind promulgates 2 ordinances to extend tenure of CBI directors and Enforcement Directorate chief up to 5 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi transfers first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awaas Yojana Gramin to over 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal inaugurates 40th India International Trade Fair and Children's Day being celebrated today. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.